This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So are we good to go, guys? Shall we go ahead and start? Can I get some confirmations from you? Shall we start? Okay, Soumya, Deepthi. All right, yeah. So thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. As I told, my name is Jay Kumar. I'll be the mentor and the presenter for this session. And I have my, colleagues, my teammates who are part of the emergency core team. Mr. Maaz and Mubin are in the call. Probably I will unmute them in the appropriate session. So with that, let us get into this presentation for today. Is there any faculty members in the chat today? Anybody? Any professors from any of your colleges? TPOs, professors? We didn't invite them. We will probably do that at the time of your internship closure. But in case if anybody joined, you can just introduce yourself. Okay, doesn't look like. All right, we are good to go then. So welcome all of you to this online embedded internship program from our organization Emergency. This is a kickoff meeting mainly to understand what this internship program is all about and how this program works. And before that, why even we as an organization have launched this particular program, what is the motivation behind this. And there is always in India, whenever you say something free, there is always a string attached to it, right? People will say hey, free matlab, that means something else, right? Okay. Am I right, guys? Can I get some response? Whenever there is a word free, you guys, we always have this in our minds, right? Free means you need to be careful. Am I right? Can I get some response? Okay, yeah. Shashank says yes, sir. Then yeah, everybody, that's something, let us clear it out, right? From your minds, right? It's going to be absolutely free internship program, no string attached, absolutely nothing to pay. Okay, so let me make that clear because many students, we also hear from a team that they responded to our mails and say, asking, is it really free? Okay, hope you don't ask me to pay something later, right? At the time of giving certificate and then say, right? So please don't get into that. We are not that type of people. Like we will talk about my team shortly. That's one thing. And the second part I want to clarify is that whomore you got a mail, okay, already that congratulations mail which you got, right? Which means to say that you're already selected for the internship, right? Because we also got some messages saying that, does it mean you will be going through one more interview or is this going to be an interview and all? Nothing, right? You're already selected. We already offered you the internship. Yes, there have been some questions on the letter perspective, right? You want an official letter to be, sent to you so that you can submit your college also, and also later point in time when you want to apply for jobs, you can use that letter also. So our team is working on that. Shortly, we will be sending you those offer letters. Everything will be documented. No need to worry, right? So anything else you guys need, we'll be able to support with it also, right? So hope we are able to clear that air about the free business, right? With that, let me get started with the next slide. Okay. So let me first introduce our company. Our company name is Emergency Information Technologies. So we are an EdTech company. Initially, we are called education company. Then we, last year, especially after the pandemic, when the learning became online, we, transitioned ourselves to an EdTech. Even though the idea of getting into EdTech was been there in our vision for a long time, right? And we have started in the year 2003, which means to say we have been in this particular field for about 17 plus or 18, almost 18 years now. So we are a long-term player in this particular field. So that's why when I said, whatever we do, we really mean it, whether it is in form of offering a quality internship for you guys or, anything that we do, right? So in terms of technology wise, we are having three portfolios. One is on the core embedded systems programming. And the second thing, when the IoT came into the mainstream, right, we introduced, programs, training programs around IoT. And, other important piece that we work on is the full stack web development, which includes the front end, back end web technologies. So unlike embedded, the full stack technology has got a lot of combination of front end and back end. So we offer training programs in these three areas, right? And before we got into full-fledged education, we also built commercial solutions, which is deployed into various customer sites in the especially in the industrial IoT space and the agriculture automation space. But then later point in time, we decided, right, as an organization, we should have a strong focus. That's when we completely tilted our focus into the education side, right? So what are we trying to do as a company as of now? One, we offer basically employability to fresh engineers, right? As you know, in India we have about 15 lakhs engineers are passing out, but very few of them are having the employability skills, right? Especially when we have people from the core circuit branches, coming from EEE, ECE, instrumentation, telecommunication kind of branches, right? So they struggle, or they end up in a pure application development or a IT company where they may be working on something on a mainframe maintenance or a Java application programming or something, right? So there is always these challenges are there. One, people are not getting jobs, or even if they get jobs in the campus interview, especially for the core branches, they're not getting into the area like, for example, embedded systems or IoT, right? So that's a problem we are trying to solve. Then second thing that we work on is upskilling. So once people get into the jobs, people will have their own skill requirement after 2 year, 4 year, as they gain more experience, because technology keep changing, and the organization would expect these employees to adapt to these technologies. That's where we get into the upskilling mode of training people. Again, we are trained people somewhere anywhere in the range of 2 years to 15 years in a very customized and specific training programs. So that's what we do as a company. And as you see, whatever we do, which I'll be detailing out in the subsequent slides, right? You can see the diagram here. What do you understand from the diagram below? Okay, that's a picture there. Can you interpret that and tell you what you understand from the picture? Because I want to make it interactive, don't want to be a slide reading. Who is going to go first? Okay, you help us to shape the career. Very nice. That's very nice. So please don't talk, guys. Please use the chat. Okay, molding. Okay, Aditya says that's nice. Okay, any other thoughts? Molding, giving a shape. Okay, Nagasai is also telling the same. Okay, mold our career. Kumkum says. Any other thought process apart from molding? One more. I'm expecting one more point. You guys are smart. Should be answering me. Grooming students. Okay, Divya says. Grooming, shaping. But how anybody can get groomed, right? Okay, if you want to make a pot, which is there in the diagram, right? You can only make a pot if you are ready to make your hands dirty, right? Okay, you can see the person who is making the pot and the whole set of a bunch of fingers, which are already getting dirty, right? It's getting into mud. Can you relate something to that? I'm giving you a clue. Yes, grooming is the right answer, but added to that, what do you mean by making your hands dirty? Can I get some answers around that? Learn and practice. Rather, I would say, Kishore, Nand Kishore, practice and learn. That's it. That's correct. Okay. So that's where is the challenge, guys. Okay. So because we have been in this field for about 18 years, as I told, time and again, we have been called by colleges and say, hey, run a 3-day of workshop, and all of you would know, this particular workshop, especially for EC student, will know, right? There is something called line follower robot, right? Okay. When this line follow robot workshop started happening, it started happening from Tipu Sultan times, before even British came, no? Okay, Tipu Sultan times. Okay. So which means to say, we have been doing this 3-day, 4-day workshop, right? Before even Britishers came during Tipu Sultan times. And we still put in a resume saying that, I attended a 2-day workshop on line follow robot, right? Same thing goes for a 1-day workshop on IoT, right? Have you ever wondered what happens after that? Nothing, right? One. Second part is like, we also have been, working with colleges. Many colleges come and ask, do something, come inside our college, set up a lab, we'll give you the infrastructure, we'll give you all the facilities, internet is free, all those things, right? But, as an organization based out of Bangalore, physically doing things, as you guys saw, right? That's a question I asked, right? Why which place you joined from, right? We cannot go all over the India and then do that, right? That's when we thought, right, there is an opportunity for us as a company to make a difference in this, industry academia segment, which has been our passion for, ever since we started our company to do something. And what happens is last year around March, when I come and told you guys, hey guys, we are going to give an online internship, that might not have been so exciting, right? Because we never got used to online way of learning things, right? But in the last 1 year, we are all gone through our own ups and downs, due to the pandemic. But one good thing that has emerged out of the pandemic is that we have accepted and adapted the online as a way of learning. Do you agree, guys? Okay. Now online has become a way of learning. Can you get some responses? Yeah, it says, right. Okay, but there is another debate here. Okay, that's why I asked you the question. Any professor lecturers are there, they'll beat me up if I say this, right? But unfortunately, what has happened when suddenly went online and your final semesters and when you're in the third year, your lecturers and professors are teaching online. I know how it works, right? Okay. How do you find the online lecturing by your professors? Give me some frank answers. Anyway, there are no professors. They're not going to cut you any internal marks. We'll only be assessing you, right? How did you find your online classes taught by your college? Can I get some responses? Be frank. It's an open discussion. I want to make it interactive. Sashank says, sleepy, zero seriousness. Amazing. Really appreciate the answers. Bored, Vivek says, okay, right? Okay. And why and what happens, right? It's you put it in mute and we snore. And sometimes even you hear snoring noise in the video, right? Log into the class and mute. Yeah, Lenin is okay, a bit draining, right? Mind deviation, right? Okay, like we do all the full of stress. Okay, nothing clear. Okay, so this is a challenge, right? And what happens is even when we tell, right, it's going to be an online internship. I'm sure there are some questions in your mind, right? How this is going to work, right? That can be, some thing running in your mind. I'll talk about it, right? Just park that thought, right? Okay. Context gets doubts cleared as offline class. Ram Kumar says, very nice point, Ram Kumar. Because many of us think only what the lecturer is talking is important, right? Suppose I am giving this particular presentation, of course I will do it, right? The idea is not to run through the slides, but important thing is to make it two-way, right? Then what happens is at least there will be a energy, there will be a interest in the session, right? So that's the important part. So coming as a summary, what I would like to say from this slide is we are an education company. We have been working on product and solutions, and then education from the beginning, and then later our focus completely went into education, and training programs, and whatever the training programs that we do, right? We do the approach what is there in the picture. One, you mold people, and when you're molding people, you need to make your hands dirty, right? Okay, for example, people say, I want to know swimming, right? Okay, suppose if I want you guys to teach swimming, what is the first thing you should do when you want to do swimming? Can you get me an answer? Suppose I want to teach you guys swimming, what is that you should do? First thing, enter the pool. Nike says, right? Get into the water, right? But unfortunately, what happened in today's engineering education, right? You write exams about how to get into water. You write a quiz about how to get into water. You probably go into the swimming pool and then see, oh, this is what swimming pool looks like, and then come back. But hardly we get into the water, right? But if you don't get into the water, what happens, as the other point that's coming out, what Vishal says, we actually lack our courage, right? Okay, because the moment somebody says water, we get scared. Oh my God, how are we going to enter into this water, right? It's okay. So that's the reason why basically there is a less of confidence, there is a less of what do you call, self-assurance, right? And with that kind of a skill in your baggage, right, how you will be able to crack a core job. So that's where I tell people from EC and Triple E, there's a Hindi saying in my college, they say na darka na gatka, right? If you're a computer science guy, you go and work in a software company, you're happy, right? If you're a mechanical guy, anyways, you can go and work in the mechanical, in a mechanical manufacturing segment, right? But if you're EC and Triple E, you are like, here and there, right? That's a challenge, right? We are trying to address, right? Okay. So now as a company, these are some of the statistics, what we have done over the past 18 plus years in terms of, how many companies we have partnered with, how many number of students we have trained, and you can just go and, search about it. Did anybody search about us in the net, guys? Okay. Anybody did at least did a Google about our company? Can I get some responses? Okay. Ramya says yes. Okay. Okay. So what did you learn from doing a search in our website? When you did a Google, what did you figure it out? Can you get some response? What did you understand from our, what did you see basically? Any response? Okay, what course you are providing? Yeah, we'll talk about course later, Ramya. Today we're talking about, okay, you learned about that. Okay, what course you are providing? Okay, number one embedded training institute in India, Ram Kumar says. Very good. Firstly, it's an institution. Very good, Usha. Okay. Full information about the company, Vishal says. Very good. Okay. Okay. It's an embedded and IoT training institution. Yeah, that's good. Training institute. Placed student feedback, right? That Ramya Darshini says, right? Okay, that's something we all, look up, and especially your generation will look up, right? You don't buy a product or a solution just because some celebrity come and advertises that, right? You go Google, really verify if there are one-star review. You pay more attention to one-star review, how bad they are scolding, right? I understand that, right? All right, yeah. Okay, Vivek says it's a company which offers placements. All right, yeah, thanks, guys. Right. So this is a brief about us. When you talk about us as a team, let me introduce our team. So my name is Jai Kumar. As I told, I'm one of the core members here. And then I have my other two colleagues and who are the part of the core team. Mr. Mas, who is the founder and managing director of the company, and I have Mr. Mubin, who is the technical head. So Mas, are you there? Maybe you can share a few words about this internship program before I introduce myself and our thing.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, I think it's echoing, Mas. Give me a minute. Mr. Mas is joining the call.
Is it okay? Am I audible?
Yeah, it can be better.
Still audible. Can you hear me?
Your video looks fine, but audio is still not very clear.
Just a minute.
Am I audible, Jay?
Yes, Mas, you are.
Okay. Thank you, Jay Kumar. Yeah. And good morning, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the session of induction of internship in embedded systems. Okay. As my colleague Jay Kumar introduced about our company and the objectives of what this internship program is all about. It's about basically giving something to the academia and giving you guys a view of what industry looks like, and basically helping you to discover yourself along the way, where you are trying to explore what is in it for you in terms of building a career. Okay. During the last part, Jay Kumar specifically mentioned that there is a lot of confusion, among all of us, even when we were there. I am from 98 batch actually. We were also having the similar confusion, okay, when I passed out in 98 from electronics background, what can I do, what is in it for me? Okay, when I joined engineering, we didn't have a clue, okay, what exactly the kind of careers are there in it for us. Okay, Because first of all, one of the main reason is the IT diaspora, like the kind of the explosion in IT that happened was not there during that time. But now, since there is a lot of opportunities, since there is there will be a lot of confusion in among all of us, what is in it for me, what to do, okay, give me a sense of direction. And it is very genuine to have this, okay, and I would say you guys are we are all in the discovery phase. Okay, you need to first basically spend some time trying to discover what is the right thing for me. And today's internship program is basically an initiative in that area to help you to discover okay, what is this like you know this technology all about, can I get into this, okay, or what are the various aspects of it. So these 4 weeks we will try to help you to actually get you an industry view, okay, a little bit focus on embedded systems, giving you a little a broad view, uh, how to build a product in embedded systems, what is the kind of foundations required, and end of the day, making you confident, okay, at least from a technology point of view, okay, this is what is there, really, if I want to build a career in this domain. Or you can finally select, okay, telling that, okay, this is not the thing for me, I would like to explore something else, okay, whatever it is. So we are helping you to discover yourself as a part of this internship. And I welcome all of you from across India. I mean, we have people across India during this internship program, and some of them from abroad as well, uh, uh, to help yourself to help yourself to uh, 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 invent yourself, what you are looking forward to do. Okay, I saw a question now whether IT is eligible for this. Definitely IT is eligible. One of the reason is basically this is an embedded software development. We are helping you to actually develop the software, build the software applications for the devices or the hardware, whatever it is. More on this, my colleague Jaykumar will actually present what is in it in the internship program. There is a brief going on, okay, and that's it, that's all. And I wish you all the best, okay, wish you all the best for your future. Thank you very much, Jaykumar. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mas. Thanks for your note. Yeah, thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. So guys, my colleague Mubin is also in the call, but he's not able to do the audio right now. Anyways, he'll be meeting you at one, as a follow-up of this today's session, right? There'll be a technical session which is being planned. He'll be okay. Mubin has joined. Hi, Mubin.
Hi, Jay. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Hi, Mubin. Yeah. You want to say some words? I thought you had some audio. Yes, we are. Yeah.
Okay, I think pretty much. I think I'll be meeting them again on Monday, so I can share more details regarding the internship. So maybe I'll briefly introduce myself. I'm Mubin, working as a technology head at Emergy since more than 10 years. And I manage a team of technical mentors, primarily who are into training in embedded systems, IoT, and web application development. So this is one of a kind internship program wherein we try to get into a mode wherein we not just only teach and start from the basics of embedded systems, wherein many of you would be lacking in understanding the fundamentals of, let's say, embedded systems, programming, etc. So we have created a unique program which is kind of a program which involves learning the basics as well as applying in a technology which requires you to gain some domain specialization. So more on the internship program we will be discussing in detail in the next week. So I hope you will be able to learn a lot from this internship program and have it as a big achievement in your resume, so that going forward you will be able to understand what the value of this program. So over to you, Jay. I think you can continue.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, thanks, Mubin. Okay, so just to give a quick brief about myself, as I told, I'm one of the part of the core team member in Emergy. And before joining Emergy, I spent about 12 and a half years working with companies like HP and Huawei. And HP, myself and Mubin were colleagues. We were in the same division, even though we were in different teams. And then subsequent to that, Maz started this company, and I had this passion of education, so I quit my corporate career in 2014 and joined Emergy as a full-time person, and I handled the placements and also the online learning related responsibilities. Right. Another interesting note I would like to add here is. We see students from Bannariamman has joined. I grew up in those areas. Okay, I still my schooling I did in Erode. Erode means Erode district near Govichettipalem and Satyamangalam. That way, the Bannari temple is very famous there. I still do have the fond memories of visiting those temples. I hope very shortly we should be able to make some visit that side also. That's an amazing, very nature blessed place, right? And even though it was also famous for Veerappan's tales, right? I guess a very nice this thing. I did look up a few videos after you guys have applied. How the temple is shaped up and how the college is shaped up. It's really amazing to see the development has happened in that particular area, right? So that way, it's a very special feeling for me to have all of you in this internship program. Improving your skills, right? So that's about our team. And as I told you, we are not the 3 people. We are about a 50-member company. We, Mubin leads a very big team, about 35 member technical mentors who will be interacting with you. Mubin will introduce them in the subsequent session as the next session to that, right? So that's about our team, right? So let me just move on to next slide. Okay. And in terms of our companies who are hiring our trained students, as you guys already looked up in our website, or you might have read, right? You name any MNC, startup, mid-sized company, they hire. And by the way, this hiring happens for students who are doing our 6 months program, not you guys, okay? Because this program does not come with the placements. Internship, we are not planning to do placement because in 1 month we cannot achieve placement. This is more about, as I told, as Mas also briefed, right? It's about one of a kind effort to give you guys an exposure and what you call a hands-on experience, right? Then we'll see, as Mas said, you need to discover yourself and then look up to it, right? So this pretty much all the names we can think about: automotive, consumer electronics, semiconductors. And then all the networking and routing, and then the industrial devices, product solutions, like you name anything, you have these companies. I just have a glimpse of it. Okay, this list keep changing, and then you can just look up in our website, right? Okay, so this is what we do in the placement side. And apart from that, we also work with various ecosystem partners on various initiatives. Some of you would have heard this initiative called Skill India, where they are like aiming to skill the youth of this country. So in fact, there was a ministry change yesterday. There's a shuffling that has happened in the central ministry. We now got a new minister for skill development. I think his name is Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan, who heads the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So we come under that. So we work on various initiatives, like, for example, curriculum design, new program development, and then a lot of futuristic program development, assessment tools, placements, a lot of things we work with Skill India, right? And some of you would have heard this particular company called TCS Ion. So TCS Ion is the assessment platform for TCS, where a lot of tests and courses, online courses are launched. So we are one of the knowledge partner where we developed the entire IoT course, which is hosted in the TCS Ion platform. Mubin and our senior technical people were involved in instrumental building that course, right from the scratch. And we also work with companies like Renesas. So Renesas is again a Japanese company which is into all these controllers and reference platforms for developing the embedded products faster. So we primarily partner with them for their India Design Contest. where they partner with medias like Electronics for You and run a All India IoT design contest. So where we are the knowledge partner, where we evaluate the ideas, and then eventually with a set of international judges, we finally finalize the list of winners at India level. So we have been doing it I think 2 or 3 times. Last year also, of course, due to the pandemic, the competition is not happening, but we have been in this zone, right, working with international people, right? And we also worked with some of the foreign universities, like it's Sumatra University, who wanted to have their India window program, where people from especially Southeast Asia, if you look at Taiwan, China, not China, Taiwan, Korea, then Thailand, etc. So they want to come to India because they know we are good in software and they can also learn English. So we had run international programs in collaboration with them. So this is a glimpse of it. Apart from that, we work with a lot of colleges and universities, and on many other initiatives as well. Right? We have done faculty development programs and stuff like that, right? So that is about our glimpse of industry partnerships, right? Now let us come to the real matter about why this internship, right? Okay, let us get into the details about it. This is more about an introduction about our company, right? I would like to pause here and take some questions, and then we'll move forward, right? Because I don't want it to be a monologue. I could also already see a question from Satya Prata. I'll answer them. In the meantime, please type your questions. We'll answer some of them, and then we'll move on to the next slide. Okay. So Satya says, I am second year CSC. Is it required to be good in electronics and microprocessor for this internship? Not necessarily, Satya. Okay, we will give you the necessary, as Mubin mentioned. Anyways, the next slide I'll talk about it more, where we will be giving you the necessary foundational skills to push you up your skill level. Then only make you do the project, because directly making the project is not going to be fruitful for anyone, right? So we will build you the fundamental knowledge, and then only we'll make you do the project, right? So absolutely no knowledge is required, right? I hope that's clear, Satya. Okay, yeah, he says thank you. Any other questions, guys? I would like to see some questions based on, I know we're not talked about the internship part, based on our organization. Okay, yeah, Anamika Bhattacharya says, since I'm final year, so is there any opportunity after this internship program? So Anamika, as I already told you, this is not a placement oriented program. Okay, this is an exposure program. We will give you the necessary certification and everything, provided you are regular. I'll talk about that. There are expectations from our side also, because as you guys said, right, we talked about the free in the initial itself, right? When we are giving something for free, we also are equally conscious about that, because you guys should derive value from that. So this is not something we will be supporting with placements. Okay, let me make it very clear. Okay, hope that's clear, Anamika. Okay, any other questions, guys? No questions? If there are no questions, at least type no questions, then we'll move ahead. Shall I go ahead then to the next slide? Okay. Yeah, Sashank is asking a very interesting question. Do we need to buy hardware for this internship? No. Okay, I'll talk about this, Sashank. Just hold on for a few minutes. Our Proteus is enough. Not Proteus. We'll be using something called Pixim Lab. Okay, just give me a few minutes. I'll show you in the browser itself, Shashank. Okay, that's a good question. If you want to buy, if you have afford to buy that, I will also share you the hardware which you can purchase on your own, right? All right. Shall I proceed? Or if you don't have any questions, type no questions. Okay. Can I get some response? Okay, yeah. Then Bhakti says, completion of internship, we get any certificate or letter? Of course, Bhakti. Okay, we will share you. We will provide you with as a completion internship. You need to complete it. Of course, I'll talk about this. There are expectations. Yes, you can very well get the certificate. In fact, you will get the internship offer letter also, whatever the appointment, whatever you can call. We'll share you that also. Our team is already working on that. Rajat is asking how this internship description I can write in resume. That's another very interesting question, Rajat. We'll also be conducting a resume preparation workshop as a part of this package. So where we'll be giving you tips and tricks, how do we basically represent the skill and the project in the resume. So with that you should be able to definitely represent it well in your resume. Because when you talk about C programming, right, people say point assessment out of syllabus, right? So that's not going to be the case. You really get a very good exposure about the overall embedded system project, right? Okay. Deepthi says, can this internship certificate add weight on your resume? How many weight? 500 grams, 1 kg. Jokes apart, right? Yes, definitely, Deepthi. It's not only about doing an internship, right? As I already told you, many of you have done internship, right? The most famous internship is what is the most famous internship, right? Can I tell you? It's called BSNL internship, right? You agree with me? BSNL internship, where you go for a week, do something with your, friend, uncle, or somebody who will give you a certificate. It's not going to be like that. Okay, this will really challenge you in terms of learning things practically. That's why the pot diagram which we showed, right? So definitely it will add value to your resume. Okay, but important part is you should be able to willing to work towards it, right? Just like that, you don't get, right? You need to work towards it. I'll talk about this also, right? Will the certificate of this internship valid in all industry of India? I don't know, Anamika, what do you mean by all industry? When you say all industry, I hope you're referring to the embedded industry. Some of the good number of logos which you showed in the previous slide. Yes, they all will take a look into it. Because if you look at fresher resume, I'll talk about it later in the resume prep when I meet you guys, probably later in the towards the end of the program, after another 3 to 4 weeks down the line. 95% of the information in your resume, what you guys are mentioning, or any fresh engineer for that matter mentioning, right? It is of no use, right? Because I see all the information from blood group to Aadhaar number to passport number, right? Okay, and then write some, project which you purchased in your final year. And that's how the industry, the academia works. We are aware of that, right? So that way, this internship would be a differentiator in your resume. You will definitely be able to produce this and then say whatever you have done in this particular internship, if you can represent well in your resume and go for a job, it will make a difference for you, right? That's for sure. And Ram is asking, live or recorded? Both are available. So these sessions will be live, like how we are doing, and we'll also be providing with the recorded ones, so that in case there is any network glitch or any, you're not able to attend some session, you can play and see it later. Okay? We'll be giving you something called learning management system, or LMS, okay, where you will be logging in and then looking into it, right? Okay. So how much time? Yeah, I mean, Rashika is asking. It's for 1 month or 4 weeks, Rashika. Okay, that's the duration of this internship. Okay. Same thing from Suryansh also. Will it start immediately? Yes, Suryansh. Today we are officially kickstarting. The next session, technical session, will be from my colleague Mubin on Monday, and then Tuesday onwards, you'll have continuous thing for. We're just giving a day break in between Friday, so that we can keep certain things internally ready. We're already ready, I would say. A few things we need to adjust. Then Monday onwards, you're on, right? Okay. Deepti is asking, is there any selection? Is there a different Aishwarya is asking, is there a different selection procedure for placement-oriented internship? See, Aishwarya, we don't offer something called placement-oriented internship, right? We offer placement-oriented training program, which is a 6 months program, which you see in our website. Okay, we don't have a placement-oriented internship where, people are asking me, right, free internship and free job. That doesn't work in the world, right? Okay, if you want a job, you need to come through our paid program, which is a 6 months old program. This is, as I told, this is our initiative and our dream and our passion to do something in the industry academia space, thanks to the online mode, right? Otherwise, I will not be able to reach out to so many of you, right? If we come and do this in every one of your college, it's going to be impossible for us, right? We are a 50-member company, and how many mentors we can send to all over India, right? It's not going to happen. So it is not, there is no placement activities at all here. Okay, let me be very clear. Deepti says, any projects are included in this? Yes, Deepti, of course. I'll talk about this, because there are questions about the hardware also. I'll talk about it in the subsequent says. Then Vivek says, how many hours a day? It's a 2 hours, Vivek. You need to keep it aside. Typically, it will be from, just let me confirm. Mubin just send me a message. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the time. Okay. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This is the official hours where there'll be some interaction, code along sessions will be planned, etc. How you need to, and then of course there'll be some work will be given to you, which you need to build on it and then submit, right? So that will be happening outside of the 2 hours time. Sir, which type of task will you give? Hardware or software? It will be software, but it will be running on a hardware. Again, there is a question about the hardware. You will be using a simulator, right? That's what you'll be doing it, right? Okay. So that's the thing, right? Give me some time. I'll share more detail about the hardware and timings, etc. Okay. And I could see a student, an international student, Arslan from Turkey. Are you there in the call, Arslan? Okay, are you able to get it? Even though some of them could be little India centric, uh, are you able to follow what I'm talking? It's glad to see somebody international coming in, right? I guess it will be little early for you in the morning. It's anyways 11:30 here, 11:40. Maybe you're a little, uh, early, right? Yeah. Okay. There is no problem. Time is no problem for you. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your spirit and passion, Aslam. I hope you will have a good takeaway from this particular internship, right? Okay. So Vivek is saying, sir, a doubt. If you're not available during that time, are we included in our college stuff? Is there any alternative? That's interesting question. In fact, we did talk about it. This in our team also. Then in a week, so you need to be available for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Okay, that's a idea. So you need to manage your college. That's what I would say, Vivek. Because if you miss this, even though you can check into your recording session, but you'll not be able to be effectively follow because it's going to be highly code alongs and practical session. So you guys need to manage that. Okay? Nothing will, even though we can do it for free, for you guys time will not come for free. So you need to make time. In fact, if you want to take a permission from your college by showing the internship letter, feel free. Okay, I would say you can do that. Okay, and you should be doing that. Okay. Okay, I think we will proceed. If you have still questions coming in, you can type in the window. I will pause and answer in the next thing, right? So as I told, right, in the beginning itself, why this internship, especially when I said the word called free, right? In India, we get all the more scary. Anything free means it comes with certain catch, right? So absolutely nothing to worry. You don't need to, as I told, that's the reason why we put across all the information. We are an 18-plus-year-old organization. There's absolutely no need for us to do anything. We're a long-term player, and we all come with so much of background, and we really want to make a difference in this particular industry academia gap, right? So that's what it is. So we have been doing this internship for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, time and again, only through certain limited pockets, especially colleges based out of Bangalore. They used to send some students and some international students, which I mentioned from South Korea, Thailand, right? We used to do that. But when a few years back, when the AICTE norms of making the internship mandatory, right? They said you need to do a 4 to 6 weeks of internship. That's when it became mandatory for all of us. And suddenly, what happened? We also saw this. Internship is also becoming like a project market, right? In finally a project market, you go and buy the project, right? You don't do the project. So you know which college it is, right? You go to a project shop, you'll say, oh, Konsa department hand, triple E, acha, which professor, here is the project you take, right? You buy. And that there is nothing more suicidal than that, I would say. Okay, maybe you'll get a good marks in your academics, right? But there is nothing more suicidal than that. So we want to change that. And we are also seeing, right, the internship is going the same way, where 4 weeks and 6 weeks, somebody will prepare a certificate, put a tappa, right? That's what there's a question here from Vishal, right? Official letter will be provided, as all documents will be provided to you. Don't worry, right? Okay. Rather, I would say you see what you can learn from that. Okay. Because people are always this perturbance. I want to have a certification, right? I want to put this, I want to show it to my professor. It will be given to you. That's not an issue at all, right? Even the appointment letter will be given to you, and then even the completion letter will be given to you, provided you do that, right? Okay, absolutely nothing. We'll be sending you individualized letter shortly. Okay, it will reach your mailbox in a soft copy format. Absolutely no issue. But my request to all of you is that do not take this as an excuse. And it's good that if you're in a, that's one of the reasons why we are catching you guys early when you're in a third year, so that at least when you go to final year, you don't do the mistake of your seniors where you buy the project, right? Okay. So my request is, if you're buying the final year projects, that is really, really not good. Okay, you try, you fail, you get lesser marks, it's okay. But don't buy the project. Okay, so at least with this knowledge, when you go to final year, you will be in a better position to do. And then as we are talking with the colleges, there have been continuous requests from many colleges, right? Saying that, why don't you do the internship? As I told, we'll give you the space inside our college, you put your logo, we'll give you the facility. And as I told, right, in India, there are so many thousands of engineering colleges, how we can scale, right? So that's when one blessing in discourse has happened in the pandemic is that, we became more familiar with online way of learning. And there are two ways, as you guys also said, right? It's becoming boring. It's like becoming one way, and you wanted to sleep. It's getting exhausting. That's not necessary. It's because it's not made interactive. And as we have been doing our programs, we found that online can be really powerful. People who are sitting as far as in Rajasthan or as south as Kerala, right? They can learn. There's absolutely no issue as long as we can do it in a scaled manner using the internet, right? So that's what we are doing. Okay, it's a part of our industry academia vision. That's why we are giving it for free. Okay, and let me repeat, for free, no string attached. Okay, there is nobody is going to ask you anybody any penny about it, right? Only request all of you to my request to all of you is that keep this thought process aside. Will I get a letter? Will they ask for a payment later? Blah blah blah, right? I know there is a lot of hangama going around this internship and project. Keep this aside. Take this as an amazing opportunity, which Mubin has mentioned, right? It's a one of the kind opportunity where you spend your time and energy and learn, right? And I'm sure when you learn, you will get benefited. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so that's about the why and how it works, how this internship programs is structured, right? I'm seeing some questions coming from Vivek. Anybody has question, please keep typing. In another couple of slides later, I'll take it up once again, right? Okay. So this internship is divided into four phases, right? So the first phase, what you call is the SDLC and project requirement phase, where you'll be sorry. So if you see here, there is a SDLC and project requirement workshop where you guys will be given an overview about a project that you'll be working on. It will be a microcontroller based project, and that will be, I guess, there are a few projects are there which are some are in the automotive space, some of in the consumer space. I guess our team has chosen one based on a microwave simulator or a car black box. I'm not sure. Mubin will share more details in the next session. So we'll be sharing it because you are not going to, this is not going to look like a class, this is not going to be a typical classroom where there is a professor teaching you and you are learning, right? Okay. So this is going to be a project driven approach where you will be shared about, there's something called SDLC, right? Software Development Lifecycle, how a company actually in the industry of projects are getting built, right? So that's what you'll be learning in that. And you'll also understand what the requirement about the project. So this is going to be your output. And some of you asked about the projects and resume building, right? So that's what you are going to do in phase one, right? But in order to do this project, you cannot build it just like that, right? Suppose you come and tell me, right, build a rocket, right? You cannot build it just like that. You need to have the necessary technical skills. So that's where you move on to the second phase, where you have something called foundational learning, right? Foundational learning consists of two topics we've chosen, even though there are a lot of others. One will be on the C programming. When you say C programming, it's not printing triangles and putting some prime number and all, which you by heart and type it in your window. That's not going to be the case. You are going to basically really learn some of the important C programming features, for example, bitwise operators, pointers, arrays, etc., which is very important for you to become an embedded system program, right? Writing a loop or printing a triangle, it's not going to make an embedded system program, right? And also when I use the word called pointers, many of the electronic students say, sir, that is out of syllabus, right? When the moment somebody says star star plus plus in a pointer topic, right? They say it's out of syllabus. That's not going to be the case. You are going to learn about C programming, in a quite a detailed manner, which is required from an embedded point of view, right? Now the second part comes is the microcontroller. So what about the hardware, right? So let me just take a minute. Let me erase the drawing. Let me exit out of my window. So when you talk about hardware, let me go to Google. So there are two ways, right? One is like we can make you buy a hardware. Again, that will involve some charges, and again, when there is an issue, like for example, my serial port is not working and all, this becomes very challenging for us to debug remotely. So if you ask us, like, we teach this, for example, Rido Flash Pick and board. So this is the board which we recommend for our various courses and project building. This is a very versatile, very interesting one. Okay, you can see all the interfaces. It's a PIC based controller, right? It's got almost all the interfaces that you can think of, and you will be able to do a very nice projects based on this board, right? Okay, and then this comes with certain things like that. So if you guys, this is our original aim, but as you know, since we are online, we will not be able to make it happen, because there is and we also thought, even for our regular students who are taking our online course, right, we cannot ship this board, right, because courier services also were not very regular during the pandemic days. So what we our mentors have done is instead of, along with this, there is something called Pick Sim Lab. You can just Google out. So this Pick Sim Lab, if you go, this will be a simulator. Okay, this is again open source software, right? Entire our ecosystem is built around that. And if you look at this simulator, right, this is a software which you need to install in your PC. It's a Pick Sim Lab, which will kind of emulate the exact board which is shown in the previous screen, right? You can see pretty much almost all the interfaces are there. Name it LCD, name the things like 7-segment display and various LEDs and USB and almost all the interfaces that you can think of, right? Okay. So what you will be doing when you are teaching, when you are in the process of building the phase 2, right? When you are building the foundational skills in the second phase, you are going to basically use this simulator and then learn, right? And if you're very particular, sir, no, I really want to get a feel of the hardware. The link I already shown you. Later also we can share. Okay, you can purchase the board. This is like around 2,000 and odd rupees will be there. They will ship it to your home. Okay, you can just look out for their pricing there, right? Okay. And whatever the code you are writing in the Pick Sim Lab, that code will work in the hardware also. Okay, maybe you need to change a minor port settings there. Okay, that's the only change required. I would say 95% the same source code will work in the hardware also. Okay, and then if you wanted to showcase this as a final project, internship project, whatever you guys want to do it, no problem. Okay, so this is how we resolve the problem of hardware. Okay, so in summary, whatever in terms of your learning, you are going to learn two. One is the C programming and the microcontroller programming, right? In terms of microcontroller programming, just because you don't have the hardware, you will not go through any sort of issues in terms of learning, right? You will be able to build a project, see the output in the simulator. Later, if you want to buy the board and do it, feel free to do it. Absolutely fine. Okay, so that's about the second phase. Okay, I could see some more questions coming in. Please feel free to type in. So that's what you're going to do, right? Okay, there's a calendar here. How this, as I already told, 4 weeks of program. So put together, if you look at, this is where you're going to spend. The phase 2 is where your majority of your time is going to spend, right? The 4 weeks time. Then what do? You go and implement a particular project, right? Once you learned, once you know how to program a peripheral, how to program a LED, how to basically blink a LED, or doing a 7-segment display programming, etc., etc. Then putting them together and building a use case becomes easy, right? So whatever the first phase, whatever you understood the requirement, the third phase you will be implementing them. In order to do that, you need this particular second phase skill, right? The programming hands-on skill, right? Okay, so that's what you will be learning, right? So then, once you're done with the third phase, then what is more important? Why are we doing all these things, right? To showcase, right? So that's what we'll be running a workshop about, career building, how the core industry works, which we typically do. Even we run a lot of webinars these days. Okay, ever since the pandemic has started, we even otherwise used to go and give guest lectures in colleges about these type of topics. We'll share, where the jobs are coming and how the trend is shaping up. And believe me, guys, after the pandemic has started, I am only seeing the number of job opportunities have significantly gone up in the core industry. In fact, every day companies are requesting me to send some good trained people. People are also struggling because the projects are flowing in so fast to India, because the pandemic is kind of settled down in the West, especially in the US, right? So definitely that's a main idea. Some of you asked the question, that's can I put it in the resume? You have to put it in the resume, otherwise why are you doing this thing, right? So we'll teach you. We have some certain templates where how to fill up the skill set, what you learned, and the project which you implemented, so that you are getting ready. Then you go for a phase 5. Okay, then you can start applying for your company. As I told, we will not be helping you. Okay, it's not a placement oriented program, but with that particular profile, you'll be able to start applying for any core companies. Okay, which some of them could be what I shown in the previous slides. Okay, or it could be anything that you may be aware of, right? So this is the overall phase, right? As I told, the project, understand the project, then understand the skill to implement the project, then implement the project, then basically put it in your resume and then get ready. Okay, so that's a 5-step approach, and each step has got further details around that. Okay, as I told, there'll be a detailed orientation by Mubin on Monday. Okay, where there'll be some more details will be shared. Okay, then what are the benefits for you guys? Okay, one is a gateway into core industry. Okay, because what happens is by working in by studying ECE, right, you ending up in a Infosys, or you're going and joining a Tech Mahindra, doing a application programming doesn't make any sense, right? Then why you they even hire mechanical students, right? Okay, so you will be able to open up possibilities with that. Okay, okay, that's the first and foremost advantage or the benefit you are getting. Okay, second benefit you are getting is, okay, you need to build on projects. As I already told you, our college project and even internship project scenario is very bad. Okay, people just go pay money, buy something, and that person will also how to what PPT, which question, which how to do a FAQ answer, and then you come out, right? So you need to basically build on it. Then only you will learn. It's like same thing like swimming, right? I know how to do swimming, but you never got into the water, right? That's not going to be the case, right? Second thing. Then third thing, it doesn't stop here. How to write an impressive resume. As I told, 95% information is not useful for any recruiter. Okay, so how to make it impressive? We'll do workshops. We'll give you templates which you can fill this particular information. Okay. Finally, okay, you get basically ready for this certification, whether it's a offer letter, certification, right? Because you need a proof that you did this internship. We'll be providing you. Okay, so finally, you are in the 1 month, you are getting yourself ready for the core career in the core industry. Okay, so this is about the benefits for you guys. Okay, I'll have one more slide, and I'll pause and take some questions. Okay, then how are you going to execute this, right? Okay, okay, this particular internship. As I told, we'll have a detailed presentation on this as a follow-up of this, but I'll give you an overview in this session, right? One important thing is you need to have a mandatory attendance. Okay, it's not like, for example, today you are in a call, you'll get certification. No, it's not going to work. Okay, if you are giving it something for free, you guys also be serious. Okay, and if you are like typical college, if you take, right, muting and then bunking, because it will not work, because you will be asked to do a lot of work, right? In case if you don't do that, you will not give certificate. It's as simple as that, right? Mandatory, you need to attend that 2 hours a day. Okay, 1.5 to 2 hours a day, 4 weeks, 5 days a week, which is translated to 1 month. So that's how the time commitment that is required, minimum. Over and above, the more you work, will it be helpful for you. Okay. Then sessions will be planned via GoToMeeting, like what I'm doing now. You will be given a link. You need to click and join, right? The link may change. The mentors will be, our instructor will be, notifying you accordingly, right? And you'll be given an access to something called a learning management system, or LMS, where you'll be provided the recorded sessions of the videos. In this one, I will not be able to put LMS because your logins are not created. But this session is the first session. I'll put it in a YouTube, and then we'll share it to you guys by maximum by tomorrow, in case some of you join late or your friends are not able to join. Okay, and all the support will happen via the forum. I think there was a question about, if I have a doubt, how do I ask, right? Or if I'm stuck somewhere, right? There'll be a forum will be given, how to post to the forum, how to get a response. You will get a, kind of a demo in the next session, right? Where to seek help, etc. Right? That's how we ensure that you don't basically, it should not be as it should not. Then otherwise, what's the point in? It will become like your typical college class. No, subah answer do gyan de rahe hain, right? That's not going to be the scenario, right? So that's what it is. Okay, in terms of learning management system, and we can also plan certain specific live doubt clearing. If in case, like say for example, many of you have a lot of doubts, the mentor. Anyway, this is a live session, right? This particular 1.5 to 2 hours a day. This is a live session. Over and above, if guys, for example, you posted in the forum the doubt, but still, there are a lot of things. on-demand basis, the instructors will decide whether they want to have some specific doubt clearing sessions on that, right? So that will be given. Then, for example, assignment and code along mechanism, there will be assignments will be given, especially during your skill building time, that C and microcontroller. And the mentors will be coding and showing to you. So as the mentors are coding, you need to code. It's not like, for example, you write it in a notebook and then by heart that program, go and type it in the window. No, as the mentors are telling, you are going to compile the program. It's going to be a hands-on code along. That's a practice called code along. You might not have heard this terminologies, right? It is called as code along. The mentor will be coding, or rather you code along with the mentor, right? So that's on the mechanism. Okay. And there'll be a weekly evaluation will be done. Okay, they'll be taking some quizzes. There'll be some assessments. As I told, Mubin will share more details. And finally, once you're done with the project, you need to demonstrate that. Okay, they may ask you to record a video about the project and then show a demo. And then we are also planning it to make it interactive. We are planning to conduct some quizzes, announce some winners, and then try to motivate you guys by giving you some goodies. Things are planned, but but that is on the fun part. But this is the core aspect of it, right? So this is about the execution, and then if suppose the project whatever you're given, you want to build on it, right? You want to basically make it even better. You can very well do it. Okay, the mentors will be helping. Okay, this is the high level details as I told you guys, to clarify. And as I told, how to log in, which is a link to log in, everything will be given to you in the next, what do you call, session with Bhumi. Okay, so I would like to pause here and take some questions. I could see a lot of questions already. Okay, so Vivek is asking sir doubt again. Basically, there are there daily tasks to do after each session, day-to-day wise? Yes, Vivek. Okay, there will be daily tasks. There'll be some programs which you need to try, assignments which you need to work on, etc. There will be tasks. In fact, we have a daily day-wise plan is available, which we'll share it in the next session. Okay, yes, you will be given tasks. Okay. And Ramya Darshini is asking, my dream to place in Qualcomm or IBM as embedded engineer. Will I get enough knowledge from this internship to get placed? The answer is yes, Darshini. In fact, we do place many people in the Qualcomm, not on IBM, because IBM doesn't do much work on the embedded side. Okay, they more work on the servers and storage and application side. Okay, Qualcomm, yes, we do place, right? So with this internship, you yourself figure it out. No, you should be able to, penetrate through it if you really do it well. Okay. Then Kumkum is telling, can CS students can do this internship? Is it useful for us? Then Rasika is asking, is this internship program fruitful in IT sector? See, guys, Kumkum and Rasika, okay, I want to clarify you guys something like this, right? Okay, there's a lot of thinking going about, I'm a computer science student. Will it be helpful? Right? Let me just put some, I don't know that the slide should be somewhere else. But anyways, I'll draw it and show you. Not a issue. So let me just write something and show you guys, right? So when you say, yeah. So when you say jobs, okay, I'm using my mouse. Sorry, it looks little not so clear, right? There are two types of jobs out there. So one, what you call as a pure application development. Okay. So where you'll be writing a mobile application or a cloud application, because there's also questions about IoT. There is a Nagasai is asking, right? One is application, right? Okay, which you guys call it as an IT job. Okay. Typically, what happens? A CSE student will target this job. Okay, CSE student will target this job. Or what happens? I call lorry company. Lorry company means a company which comes and hires any branch and every branch, like TCS and Infosys, where even a EC student or a mechanical student will come here, right? So where do they go and work, right? They go and work the companies or services company like TCS or Wipro, IBM kind of companies, right? This is what you guys say it as a application job. Then when you say core job, okay, core job, this is what we mean by a job in, let us say, a semiconductor industry like Qualcomm, NXP, Intel, Cisco, Huawei, HP, right? These type of companies, right? Again, if you see here, there is a myth that again over the years, it's been 20 years since I graduated, right? There is a myth that in the core means only an ECE guy can go. Okay, ECE or triple E guy can go here. Here everybody can go. Okay, this is how the myth has become. By the way, I did not tell you much about this. I graduated in computer science. I am a computer science engineer from NIT Warangal, right? When we were passing out, you know what? The core, this was our dream job. Okay, throughout my career, if you look at my first startup, then HP, then Huawei, which I mentioned, all this 12 and a half years when I worked, right? I worked in the core segment only. Okay, but over the years, what has happened? This becomes like a mindset saying that, oh, you are a EC means you go to core. Okay, IT guy means you go to the application, right? There is nothing like that. Okay, I am a computer science engineer. I spent, in fact, Mubin is a computer science person, right? Computer science engineer, right? We all come from that, right? So no need to segregate saying that I will do this, I will do that. Okay, as long as you learn the programming well and you have a project to showcase in your resume, any company will recognize you. It could be in your campus job, it could be a TCS, it could be an IBM, it could be a Qualcomm. But depends on where you apply. Okay. So again, core also I want to clarify. Okay, here also there's a confusion among people, right? There are two things here. One again is a pure hardware job. When I say pure hardware job, for example, a job like ASIC design, okay, or a chip design, where you are, for example, you are going to design a printed circuit board or PCB, right? So that is about the hardware job. Okay? And you have, of course, the software job also. Okay, and this is what we mean by the firmware development or the embedded software development and all. Okay, so if you see net, the this applications are, this also you will say software job only, right? Okay, this also you say software job. Here also it's a software job. But what is the difference? Here when you write a software, that software run on a server or a storage or a PC, right? Okay, suppose I'm writing a Java application, I'm running in my PC, right? That's what is mean by software. End of the day, everything is software driven, right? But what is the difference in embedded software is that you are going to run it in a customized hardware, like a phone or a wearable, or a, not only that, you are going to bring up that hardware. Somebody, I say hardware is like a body, right? And software is like an oxygen, right? How are you going to bring up, right? So if you look at the precisely which type of jobs this, in our in this embedded, when we say embedded comes here. But if you do this internship, even though it's here, will it help me in a generic software job? Of course, yes. Okay, because you are going to learn something called a coding, right? A programming, how are you going to program a hardware, right? Later with this resume, can you go to TCS? Welcome, why not? Okay, I'm an IT student, should I do this? Why not? I'm a I'm an electronics and telecommunication. Can you do this? Why not? Right? So there is nothing. In fact, it's really funny if I say this. I'm even okay to allow a civil engineer here. Anyways, you guys learn nothing in your college, right? Sorry to say this, right? 4 saal kaise jata hai, we all know. Okay. So my request is, these all stereotypes, we built it over the years. I need to do this, I should not do this and all. Okay. Rather, take it as an opportunity to learn. If you do this, can I go there? You can go very well. Okay. I hope this picture is clear, guys. I have a better diagram in another slide, but I'm not able to pull this up because I thought the discussion will be on internship centric. But since you guys are asking about the career, definitely, I'm glad to clarify that. Okay, Kumkum and Rasika, I hope it's clear. Okay, you can just respond to me in the window below. I will just take up the next question. Okay, all right. Nagasa is asking another question, sir. Is this internship program, will you teach IoT? Right, this again another big buzz that's going around. Okay, let me just clear this thing, right? So if you look at IoT, what is IoT? IoT is nothing but putting multiple things together. Okay, so let me just draw some at least high-level pieces here. So you have something called as an IoT device. Okay, then you have something called as an IoT gateway. Again, I have a better diagram just for our discussion sake. I'm keeping it simple. Then a third piece you call it as a cloud or a cloud or a network. Then you have an IoT platform on the application side, and then you finally you have a mobile application. These are all the 5 pieces. You can go and study IoT architecture. Typically, it will have all these 5 pieces put together, right? An IoT device, a gateway, the cloud, then you have a IoT platform, then an application. So let me tell a simple use case about this internship, right? This IoT use case. So let us talk about a wearable device. You are wearing a device, and your device provider also gives a mobile app where you are monitoring your health, information in your mobile app. So how it is working, right? Like you, there are millions of devices that particular device manufacturer creates. Let us say Huawei, right, or a Fitbit, right? They that is the device part. Okay. Then what happens? There are millions of devices are there in different countries and different locations and stuff like that, right? So those devices will connect to a bigger or a higher powerful device called gateway, where these days also called as edge computing, right? Okay. Then they connect to cloud, and then they run a server, a powerful server, which collates all this information from various users, and then finally it pushes the information to your mobile application, right? So this is a mega mix of different technologies, right? If you look at embedded systems, right, I would put a circle, right? If you put this is nothing but your embedded, where you are building a gateway. Gateway again can be a server also, but for our discussion sake, we'll keep it embedded. And what is this? This is basically your server and application. Okay. Now it depends, right? I always tell this analogy in my talk, right? It depends on a big elephant. It's like you would have heard about the 5 blind men talking about elephant, right? They hold on to different parts of the elephant. One guy holds onto the leg and say it looks like a pillar, right? One guy holds onto a tail and say elephant looks like a snake, right? So it depends on how you look at it. If you look at from an electronics, or if you look at from a what do you call, as a electronic or a electrical engineer perspective, so they will take this view. You will think about how do I build a wearable device, what are the pieces that gets into this particular hardware design, how do I bring up that hardware, how do I program that hardware, how do I code that particular hardware so that this particular device does what it's supposed to do. That's about the device and gateway part. But if you're a computer science or IT engineer, you will look at it from this way. You will say, all right, these device guys are having millions of devices. How do I collate this, right, in a server? And how do I probably run a machine learning model around it so that I can give the curated information to the user, right? Okay, fine. Your heartbeat is going low. Please be careful, right? Something like, how do you do that, right? That's purely about a pure software programming. Here, the hardware is also involved. So, but if you talk about IoT as a whole, the whole 5 pieces is called as IoT. Okay, so if you look at it from the internship perspective, you are going to learn this first circle, that is nothing but a device programming. Okay, slightly extending that, or even for that matter learning a few more protocols, like for example MQTT, etc. You can very well integrate this particular thing to any cloud platform. It is extendable. Okay, but we are not going to cover the IoT part. Our focus is on here only. Okay, if you wanted to do it, as I already told you, if you have some idea, sir, I want to connect this particular project to cloud and see how it works, right? If that is the idea that you wanted to implement and then see, okay, we'll help you how to do that. Okay, I hope this whole because any webinar I get into all this IT core, non-core, rather IoT, this discussion eventually comes up. I'm glad that it's come out here also. Okay, hope that's clear, guys. Nagasai and Rasika and others, please respond down. I'll take a look. Okay, all right. So Arslan is asking, sir, what is LMS? Also, link which shared with us via email is still valid for other lessons. No, Arslan, you will be sending. I will be sending you one more updated link to you for the Monday session, which you need to follow for the live classes. Live means this, right? How you are attending today. But once the live class gets over, the recorded. Now, anyways, we are recording this. The recorded videos will be made available via LMS. And using the LMS, you can also ask doubts and also, take support from mentors. That's what the LMS is for, looking into the recorded videos and seek support. Okay, that's the purpose of LMS. And of course, your tests and quiz also will happen via that. Okay. Is Pixim Lab operating Ubuntu software? Usha, I think it should. Okay, it does operate in Ubuntu. But platform specific details, it will be shared in the next, because in our regular courses, our students do use Ubuntu, but the specific will be shared to you in the specific next sessions, Usha. So later, can we have the recording of the session? And Deep Sardar is asking, yes, we would like to keep it for some time. We're not decided how long you wanted to keep it, but yeah, it will be available for you for some more time, even after the internship, right? Okay. So Deepthi is asking, sir, will you teach us from the basics of embedded systems? Yes, as I already told you, you need to, we all assume with a zero knowledge, right? We don't want to come with something previously known, right? You just come here and learn, okay? You come with a learning mindset. That's what we need. Okay? You don't need to have any previous this thing, right? Okay. Yeah, Rasika says thank you. All right, hope that is clear, Rasika and Kumkum. Okay. IoT plus embedded, IoT is embedded plus cloud. Yeah, Shashank, that's another way to look into, Shashank. Okay, Kumma says thank you. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, is it clear? Are you getting a better idea about what you are doing, what you are going to get into in the internship and other topics which you guys are raised up? Yeah, how many students in one project? Vishal, okay. See, we are basically, planning to do it as a, planning to form some teams. Okay. Mubin, are you there in the call?
Yes,
Mubin?
Jay.
Yeah, Mubin, there's a
Yes.
question here from Vishal. Yeah, how many students in one project? There's a question about project part of it. You may want to answer that.
So typically, the size of a group will be around 5 students in a project batch. That's what we are planning. It depends upon the total intake. So I can say easily it will be 5 per batch.
5 per batch. All right. So can you please provide me the syllabus of internship? Anamika, just wait for some time. In the next session, we'll be sharing you with a day-wise plan. Okay, what you'll be learning on each day. Okay, there's a sheet our team has already planned. It will be shared to you. Okay. Not only that, as I told, how to access LMS, etc., etc. So Mubin will run through a detailed session on Monday. Okay. And Darshini is asking the concept of analog and digital electronics will be teaching. No, Darshini, that's again a hardware part which I mentioned. Okay. Which will be there, but this is a more of the software side of it. Vishal is asking timing for live session. As I already told Vishal, it will be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's the time. We have this execution covered. Okay. All right. I would like to pause here and get your inputs. Are you getting an idea, guys? Can you respond? Are you getting an idea about the internship? Okay, about the hardware, how you are going to learn. Okay. Are you able to relate with what I'm telling? Okay. Hope it is not like your classroom where you mute and doze off. Okay, Amalan, then Danish. Okay. All right. Yeah. Any other questions? Before I proceed, we're almost kind of closing in a few more slides, and then we are done for today. Okay. Great. I think I don't see any questions. Rakshit, Sonali. All right, guys. Yeah, let me proceed. Sir, we have our college lecture till 2 p.m. You need to manage that, Vishal. Okay, we will also see whether we can do something, but you need to attend. Okay, you need to convince your professor whatever the timing you need to manage. Right? Okay. All right. So we have done that. So enhancement based on ideas. That's what I was mentioning, right? Can this particular project which you're going to do, right? Can you enhance it and make it as an embedded project? Yes, you can. Right. That's the idea. All right. So let me come to this FAQs, frequently asked questions. I hope most of the questions we have answered, but still some of them I put up based on our initial thing. Okay. Anyways, thanks for asking so many questions. Okay. So is this internship comes along with placements? I'll ask you guys. Okay. Is this internship come along with placements? Can I get your answers? No. Yes. That's correct. Okay. But will it help you to get into a core job? At least can you start applying and start dreaming about Qualcomm's and NXP's, Cisco's, Intel's? Yes, absolutely. Right. That's the correct answer. Okay. Now FAQ becomes I am becoming a quiz monster here. Right. Okay. How do I get hardware exposure in this internship? You need to answer me now. How are you going to learn? How are you resolving the challenge of hardware? Can I get some response? Simulation, yes, through simulation. Pick sim lab. Wait. Okay, very good. You can buy the board also. Our mentors can share the link. There's a company, I think they're based out of Kerala, that Rido Labs. If you can order online, they will buy that. Yeah, you can buy if you're willing. Because that's again 2000 and odd money. We don't want to burden you guys. That's not the idea. Okay, the idea is to learn. But learning wise, no issue. You code it here, make some minor changes, only code configuration. The code, same code will work in the real hardware also. Okay. How do I seek help? You know, I am having some doubt, or I'm stuck here. How can I reach out to your mentors or your, instructors through LMS. Very good. Okay. In LMS, there'll be a forum, okay, where you can do that. And as I told, if there are more questions coming from you guys, yeah, as Vinayak says, doubt clearing can be additionally arranged. Okay. What other resources are provided? Okay, let me also mention that. One is, as I told, you'll be given the LMS access. Okay, through LMS, majority of the information will be shared. Okay, so apart from that, you can also go to this our website emerging.com/embedded systems. Okay, if you go here, all the recorded videos, everything will be given. Apart from that, we have this thing called technical resource library, which we just launched 4 subjects here. Okay, where you can go and find out a lot of, for example, if you take C, microcontroller will go live probably by the time you guys start the internship. We will launch microcontroller. So our team is working. For example, if you go to C programming, you will find almost all the materials about that. What is this thing? Your slides, all the reference materials here, right? And then similarly, if you go to sample programs, okay, you will see tons of sample code and output. Some of the assignments what you are going to work may be available here. So this is a URL where you can download all the stuff, right? And we don't be giving you any printout or anything. Don't worry. Okay, we're not. We want everything to be in a soft format. Suppose we go here, right? So you can see the source code and example and output. Similarly, assignments, projects, even some of the project details also maybe in the this thing only, right? A lot of materials are there. Okay, you can just this is open link. You can also share with your friends. Okay, that's our digital library or technical resource library. More contents are getting added. As I told, microcontrollers are not there. It will get added shortly. Okay. So that's resources we'll be giving. As I told, all your letters will be taken care. Okay. So let me ask you guys a couple of more questions and we probably close it. Will I get certificate just because I am selected? What is the answer? Just because you are attending today, will you get? No. Yes, that's correct. Okay, we want you to work towards it. Our mentors will be assessing you. Then only we'll be giving you the certificate. Otherwise, we can very well give the certificate today. Yeah, Shashank says, spend time on work, right? Okay, you can work on it. Can I submit the internship to my college? That's the answer. Yes, you can very well. Okay. Or if you are, any other this thing required, we'll give you any other reference. If somebody wants to check whether, let us say, Rasika or Vinayak has really done the project or not, right? We can vouch for you guys, provided you work on it, right? No issues. Okay. And some of the colleges, guys, this internship carries some grades, right? If I'm not wrong, I don't know. But some colleges say yes. Can you just let me know about that? If you produce the certificate, will you give some grade points? Yeah, it carries grades. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. Very good. Okay. Please get a good grade in your college also. Okay. So please feel free to, and can I put it in your resume? Feel free to put it. Okay. Can I apply for the job with this resume? Please feel free to apply. Okay. But my thing is that's comes secondary. But do the work first, then rest all will happen. Okay. So good. Okay. So what next? Okay. Technical orientation on Monday. Okay. Mubin will be taking that session. You will get a link, not this link. It will be a different link. We will mail you before Monday. Today is Thursday. Like in another day or two, we'll be mailing you, guys. So where Mubin will get into more details of what we discussed on this part, right? Sorry, this slide, the execution part, right? This high level, anyways, he will cover. Yeah, this one. How the attendance will be taken, what is the expectation, how to ask questions, etc. So Mubin will be clarifying you what is the modalities. He will also introducing you your mentors who will be taking your what do you call the foundational learning sessions. Also the project guidance, how they will be helping you, who will be the person who will also meet them. Okay, they'll also interacting with you via the forum and also like your live classes like this, right? Okay. So that will be the plan for this thing on Monday. Okay, Monday 11 a.m. right? Yeah, Monday 11 a.m. Okay. So please, so we'll send out a link. You can join there. Okay. So that's it, guys. I'm done with this. And anyone from Bangalore join? Anybody? Local students? I didn't see anywhere apart from Bangalore. I could see almost all the place. Anyone from Bangalore in the call today? Not. No issues. If you are in Bangalore, okay. So I study in Bangalore. Okay. Which college, Sujan? Sujan says he study in Bangalore. Okay, Venkateshwar. All right. So if you're familiar with Bangalore, we are based out of MG Road. It's like the erstwhile center. Now it has become a downtown near the MG Road metro station. Okay. As I told, we're still not operational fully. We are trying to get back to the regular operations as and when the government is lifting the the lockdown guidelines. And these are all the coordinates with which you can reach. You can shoot out a mail at training@emergy, where from where you would have got all the mails already in the name of ASMA. Okay, and then our Facebook and Insta links are here. You can click like, and then comment. So that's going to be the channels. And anyways, technical things we will interact through the LMS and those ecosystem. Certificates, appointment letters, etc. will reach you. Don't worry. So that's it, folks. So once again, thank you very much for for your interest, first of all. Okay, and then applying for the internship, and then congratulations for getting selected. We did apply some cutoff. We had received tons of applications, right? So let me stop sharing and see you guys on Face. Can all of you come on a video, please? Turn on your video. So let me stop sharing. And a lot of you. Can I see you in video? Yeah, I could see Deepthi, the first person. Okay. Just hang on, Bhakti. Okay. Oh, she also vanished. Okay, Rakesh. So many people in the call. Come on, video, guys. People are shy to show their faces. Okay, Srija here. Maz is here back. Hey, Maz. Okay, we're back with a mask now. Okay, he's in office. You could see Rustam, Deepthi, Aliluddin Khan, Amrita, Ashutosh, Ashika, Ram. Okay, Amrita, Trupti. In the meantime, still you have questions, feel free to type. How did you find the session, guys? Or was it informative? Are you able to get an idea? Okay, we have the Arslan, our Turkey guy, joining. Hi, Arslan. We have Deep Sardar. Okay, I think still people are a little shy to show their faces. May I get some quick feedback on the window? Hope you find the session interesting, get an idea about what it is. Okay, Vinayak says good. Very much informative. So far, so good. Okay. Any other responses? Okay. Srujan says it's a great session. Thank you, Srujan. It was great. Lipsarda says good session. Aditya. Okay, great session. Gokul. Good and informative. Vikram. Nice, Rija. Great. Satya Prada. Very nice. Says Abhishek. Thank you. Super informative, says Shashank. Got many of my doubts clarified. Okay, cool. Got a clear idea on internship, informative. All right, great. Okay, team to provide the internship. Yeah, thank you, Vinayak. My request all of you to get a maximum benefit out of this. Okay, Aliluddin saying you're a good human being, sir. Thank you, Aliluddin. Nice session, very informative. Ayman says, and then Rasika says, thank you, good session. Okay, exciting for the program. Yes, my request to all of you is please maintain this excitement. Okay, after 1 week, don't leave it like a balloon, right? That is very, very important. And Mubin has got very high expectation on you guys, right? Even our mentors. So please don't drop it just by attending one session, getting pepped up. Anyways, I'll meet you guys. Okay, Mubin also will be meeting you. I will meet you in the Disha session. Mubin will be meeting you more frequently. And anyways, we'll have a valedictory function in the end, call all even your department professors. We'll do a big bang out of it, right? We'll call some of them and show even your professors what you guys built. Make us proud, right? Show your project, your professor in front of us. That's something happy for us, right? Okay, right. That's what you're planning. We'll communicate more. Maz, you want to add some concluding points? We are kind of wrapping up.
No, Jayakumar, I think we'll close it for now, and I'd like to have your mention in the final. This is just a start. Let us actually continue the tempo okay, for the next 4 weeks, and I hope that we'll be able to make the best of it. Okay, I will this.
All right, sure.
Sure.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for joining. I'll stop the recording now.